Hello, my name is Daniel White, and I'll be talking about my volunteer experience in Costa Rica. As I got ready to leave Costa Rica, I was initially very nervous about the whole experience. I did not know what obstacles I would face while I was there. However, I was also excited to explore and experience a new way of life. After taking a red eye from Los Angeles and receiving very little sleep, I arrived in Costa Rica a bit disoriented but excited. I was picked up at the airport by a guy who works at the program I'd volunteer at. I then had an orientation, which taught us about the culture and the project I'd be volunteering at. After, I finally arrived at my homestay and took a much needed nap. My homestay was about 15 minutes by bus from downtown San Pedro and was in a middle class neighborhood. Instantly, I realized my lack of Spanish would be a challenge since they did not speak any English. I was then introduced to the four other volunteers staying at the home. Everyone was very welcoming, especially the host family. One cultural difference that was shocking was the inability to flush toilet paper down the toilet. We had to place it in a trash can instead. Though I did not like the practice, I quickly adjusted. The transportation system, though scary at times, was very convenient. The buses were cash only, and the system they use to collect and get back change can be seen in the top left picture. Tico time is used to express the unimportance of being on time for meetings or other events, very different than our culture, so buses would often arrive at random times. The traffic throughout the city was sometimes crowded, and drivers, including bus drivers, certainly drove with speed and force. The weather in Costa Rica, as seen in the video, is dramatically different than Southern California. I arrived during the rainy season. Though different regions in Costa Rica receive varying amounts of rainfall, the average is about 100 inches. On my second day, I was on my way home, and as I got off the bus, it was pouring. I desperately tried to put on my poncho, but by the time I did, I was completely soaked. I was totally fine with this and walked home in the wonderful rain. As I walked in the house, Maria began laughing hysterically over my lack of readiness for the weather. I certainly was not in California anymore. The first picture is a dinner for my host family. Maria made a variety of dinners for us, but usually dinners consisted of a protein, carb, and vegetable, and sometimes she would serve dessert. We were always served rice and beans with dinner too. Rice and beans are certainly a staple cuisine in Costa Rica. The other two pictures are from local restaurants. The middle picture is fried plantain cups filled with beef and beans, which was amazing. Overall, the food in Costa Rica wasn't too unfamiliar, but delicious. During my time in Costa Rica, I volunteered at a daycare called Gatitos Parral. It was located about 45 minutes away by bus from my homestay. The daycare was located in a community that faces immense poverty, gang violence, and high drug use. The daycare also acts as a preschool for the younger children. Through subsidies from the government, Gatitos provides the children with breakfast and lunch. They also teach the children hygiene practices, such as washing their hands before and after eating, as well as brushing their teeth. In addition, it provides a safe place for the children. Here are several pictures from the daycare. While I was there, I helped with art activities, feeding the children, cleaning up, and giving them individual attention. All the children were so excited for us to be there. The top left picture shows the children painting bowls and cups which they would later glue together to make little houses. I also came up with several lesson plans to increase their English. To my surprise, the children knew a fair amount of English. Overall, all the children were grateful for our time there. The teachers at the daycare were also very welcoming and grateful for everything we did. On my last weekend in Costa Rica, I went on a tour of El Tortuguero National Park. Located in the northeastern part of Costa Rica, it is the third most visited park. There are 11 different habitats, and while I was there, I was fortunate to see many of them. I left my homestay at 5:30 in the morning and took a bus ride for 3 hours, followed by a 2-hour boat ride. On the way, we saw banana and papaya plantations and many beautiful rainforests. After our journey to the hotel, which was located in the rainforest, I was in awe of the beauty all around me. The hotel was absolutely beautiful and was surrounded by wildlife. During the tour, we went to the Caribbean Sea, through the canals, and through a paved path in the rainforest. I have never seen so many trees and plants in my life. One morning, our tour guide took us through the canals and we were trying to spot wildlife. I was fortunate enough to see sloths, howler monkeys, white-faced monkeys, iguanas, various birds, and turtles. This was certainly a highlight of the trip. I was truly blown away by nature's beauty. After my trip, I quickly realized that I have gained so many important life experiences. First, I certainly increased my self-confidence. I often have little confidence in myself. However, this trip proved to myself that I can make a difference and have the abilities to do so. Second, I found renewed happiness and inspiration in life. I have had a difficult couple of years. My sister passed away, and my mom was recently diagnosed with colon cancer. Through this, I have become rather pessimistic. When I left Costa Rica, I felt happiness and inspiration I haven't felt in years. I am truly grateful for this. I also have increased my empathy for others while I was volunteering. I was able to understand the challenging life these children have, but was inspired by their never-ending happiness. This trip has certainly inspired me to volunteer and travel more. I want to volunteer hopefully in Ghana or another country in South America and work with HIV prevention. I have gained valuable experience during this trip and I am truly grateful. Costa Rica is certainly seen as a leader in tackling environmental issues. After the rainforests were being destroyed in the 1940s, the leaders in Costa Rica have taken steps to maintain their rainforests, and now they're headed to become the world's first carbon neutral country by 2021. After seeing the incredible rainforest, I started to think about climate change and how my actions could eliminate this paradise. I came back looking for ways to decrease my carbon footprint and encourage friends and families to do the same. While it's discouraging to have an administration that does not believe in climate change in the White House, we can still create change on an individual level. Simple things like reducing use of plastics, recycling, and decreasing consumption of meat are quick ways to decrease our carbon footprint. These rainforests contain so much life and are heaven on earth. On my last day at the daycare, the children drew and colored me a picture to take home with me. The picture on the left is of me and the other volunteer. They were rather insistent that we were in love. The bottom picture is from a coloring book I brought them. A phrase used throughout Costa Rica that embodies the people and lifestyle is pura vida. This translates to the pure life. This phrase embraces a lifestyle that is carefree, laid back, and optimistic. As I return to American culture, I hold this close to my heart. I will be able to accomplish more in life if I am enjoying it as well. So thank you, Costa Rica, for everything you've taught me, for the culture, lifestyle, and the renewal of my happiness.